the next one is going to be work-related. You know, most of the services, as you heard from care and birth, when refugees come here, they have a very, very small time. We need to see that they go to work. So we would like to know actually something about that. And this question is going to be directed to Arlette, who is working with SEED. And we know most of the Congolese, they are business-oriented kind of people. So Arlette, could you tell us about the types of jobs Congolese might be used to working in? And could you tell us also about opportunities for people who like to start business from the refugees? We know it will take some time before they could really do that, but if you can just give us some information about that. Is that going to be something these guys can do?
The first thing will be on language barrier, because many coming from French-speaking countries and talking about okay, sorry, I have to speak louder. I was saying, first of all, it would be language barrier, because many people are coming from non-English speaking countries, so that would be the first main issue. And most of the work they will have to start with, regardless of their education level, or it will be like factory work and things like that. But with SEED, we offer entrepreneurial skill toward the skill you already have. So if they were doing a business, either like for example sewers, then we can help them put that in practice. And we have two ways of helping them. The first is this technical skill, where we can help them like develop the website and just teach them marketing skills and all the skills that they need. And then the second part, we offer a macro loan program where we can help them put that business into reality. And in our macro loans program, we can let them borrow between 5,000 to 10,000, and with only like a fixed rate of 5% return. So in terms of work, and I'm saying from the refugee perspective, them coming, the first would be language, to help them get familiar with the English language, and then.
Okay, someone want to add something?
If I look at the background of people, and throughout the whole United States, most of the Congolese people here have been entrepreneurs. That's all over USA. The reason is simple, because employment really in our country is not like many other countries, where you find, as you get off school easily, you find an employment, you find a job, whatever. Most of the people have learned to do things on their own, creativity, through markets, through vending, to doing a lot of things, from getting stuff like sewing, doing hair, doing many cultural things that they sell. So you will not have a problem if you employ anybody from that Congo or a refugee, regardless if they will be a refugee. And this is really, I'm telling you as that experience, you will not have a difficulty if you get them. They're hard worker people, and they are people who love to create. So creativity is what we, because like I said, in terms of growing from our school, like there is no kind of time of problem. You get off of school, then boom, here your job. So most people have learned to develop different market on their own. Vending and different things is all part of who they are.
Linda wanted to add something.
Yeah, I want to add something very important, that from my own experience when I came here. Looking for a job with agencies is a little bit tough, because most of them just sit on the office, look on computer where a job are, but it's not really job. So it's to go to talk with HR everywhere. I mean, most of the people when they come, they used to work like hotel industry and restaurant. Talk with HR, explain them. This is the hardworking people. So that's why we said the phone number, 223 number. Call us if you need help. This is the only thing I want to add for the agencies and the service provider.
All right, right now we're moving to the health care. And from what we got, from what we received from the Cultural Orientation Resource Center, we learned that, we learn and understand that Congolese refugees have 30% positive for exposure to TB. And 7% hepatitis B, 3% AIDS. Also, there are high rates of PTSD, experiences of sexual gender-based violence, and that often psychologically pain exhibits as physical back, leg, migraines, and gastro upset. Becky, this is going to be typically your question. We know that you worked with, you have experience working with some medical and social service organizations. What do you know about Congolese experience with healthcare and social service systems?
Okay, I'm going to keep this very brief. And I hope that this is the platform for moving forward, and I'd love to interface with people. Basically what I do is advocacy work. And so I visit schools, I visit a lot of people who need resources, who are interested in learning more. I'm a liaison of a resource, that's it. So we can carry this conversation forward if you'd like. There are a couple of things. One, I'm hoping that everybody will just, the most important thing that you can do, as it is true for anyone, is to empower them to make good decisions for themselves. I mean, that's true of anyone. And if somebody's in a more vulnerable position, they've had less access to making those decisions, to being well-informed, and so it's going to take extra resources, principally time and translation. You have to have good communication with them, that's it. You know, listening to them, their histories are going to be the most important thing. Most people will not have had very good, thorough scans and histories having been taken. It's one of the most important things that you can do, a very thorough initial scan, medical and psychological if possible, because then you have something to work with as you're moving forward. That's absolutely fundamentally important. The last thing I want to say is that even though you may have to resource translators, never assume that somebody doesn't know what you're talking about. I have a very upsetting story where a patient, the nurses were kind of chatting about perhaps they shouldn't even set up another appointment because this person was doing very poorly and they probably wouldn't live long enough to have their next appointment. And they said so very casually in English, thinking that this person couldn't understand them, and that was how he got the news that perhaps he was at risk to die, which is not the way somebody should be learning this information. So even though people may have difficulty expressing themselves, very often they can hear a lot more, right? So treat them as you want to be treated. It's a very difficult situation over there. I'm getting ready to go over to DRC, and I've got to, have to have 1 million shots, like porcupine, and, have, malaria meds and all kinds of things. It's just the conditions in which people live. It's, so be aware that that's just the realities they're dealing with, and try to understand and meet them and understand what those realities are.
Okay, I think Aled want to add something very quick to that.
Yeah, I was just going to add to the cultural standpoint. Many of them, they're not used to going for regular checkup, so they wait until they are really sick to go. So those would be educational wise to just encourage them to just do the initial checkup. And also, with the health part, the translation will come heavy in just the familiarity, because there's a lot of, they can be sick, but they will not want to tell the doctor, because, so that's where they would need somebody they can trust, and it's okay to say that. So I think
okay. All right. Okay. Again, as we all know, as these refugees are coming, they need resource for healing and social connections. As we mentioned before, some important sources of support for Congolese victims of trauma to help them heal, including religious faith, cultural expression in music, dance, arts, local community support. Papi, I think this one is going to be directed to you. You are closer to the pastor. We know the Congolese are largely Christians, as some of you said earlier on, with some traditions as traditional beliefs, and there are a small number of Muslims. Could you tell us about the importance of faith, especially to help recover from trauma, experiences, and opportunities for Congolese to connect with faith-based communities?
Yes, I can tell you. I don't know if we don't use faith, what will heal these people. I'm here representing the African Christian United Fellowship. This very church was founded because of these very people, all of us as followers of Christ, but these very people to find a home in Pittsburgh. Why? Because of those people, when they come with the key, they don't know English. They don't want to go to the